In our spiritual journeys, we often face truths that are difficult to accept but crucial for our growth. These truths challenge us, push us to our limits, and ultimately lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe. Each of these truths is a lesson that, once learned, transforms us profoundly. Let's explore some of these harsh truths, understand their significance, and find ways to overcome them. The first truth we encounter is the realization that spiritual growth often involves pain and struggle. Many of us begin our spiritual paths seeking peace and happiness, only to find that true growth often comes from facing our deepest fears and insecurities. Pain and struggle are not signs of failure, but rather indicators that we are confronting the parts of ourselves that need healing. Think about how a seed must break open to grow. Similarly, we must sometimes break open to reach new heights of spiritual awareness. This process can be incredibly uncomfortable, but it is through this discomfort that we find our true selves. It's essential to understand that pain is a part of the human experience, and trying to avoid it can lead to more suffering. When we resist pain, we create a barrier that prevents us from healing. Instead, we should embrace pain as a teacher. It shows us where we need to focus our healing efforts and guides us toward greater self-awareness. By accepting pain and struggle as part of our journey, we can move through them with grace and emerge stronger and more enlightened. Consider how often you have tried to escape pain only to find it returning in different forms. What if, instead of running away, you faced it head-on? What if you saw each painful experience as an opportunity to grow? This shift in perspective can transform your relationship with pain and allow you to use it as a tool for spiritual growth. Another harsh truth we must confront is the realization that we are not in control of everything. As spiritual beings, we often strive to manifest our desires and create the life we want. While it is true that we have the power to influence our reality, it is also true that there are forces beyond our control. The universe has its own plan, and sometimes it does not align with our desires. This can be frustrating and disheartening, but it is a vital lesson in humility and surrender. Understanding that we are not in control allows us to let go of the need to micromanage our lives. It teaches us to trust the larger forces at play and to have faith that everything happens for a reason. This does not mean we should become passive or stop pursuing our goals. Instead, it means we should focus on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and attitudes, and trust that the universe will take care of the rest. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. Reflect on a time when you tried to force an outcome only to be met with resistance. How did it feel to struggle against the flow? Now, imagine surrendering to the universe and allowing things to unfold naturally. How might this change your experience? By releasing control, we open ourselves to the possibility of miracles and allow the universe to guide us to our highest good. The third truth we must grapple with is the realization that not everyone will understand or support our spiritual journey. As we grow and change, we may outgrow certain relationships or find that our loved ones do not share our beliefs. This can be incredibly isolating and painful. It is natural to want validation and support from those around us, but we must recognize that our spiritual path is unique to us. Not everyone will understand it, and that's okay. This truth teaches us the importance of self-reliance and inner strength. We must learn to validate ourselves and find support within our spiritual communities or from like-minded individuals. It also teaches us compassion and patience for those who are not on the same path. Everyone is on their own journey, and it is not our place to judge or force our beliefs on others. Instead, we can lead by example and inspire change through our own growth and transformation. Think about a time when you felt misunderstood or unsupported in your spiritual journey. How did it affect you? What can you do to find the support you need while respecting the paths of others? By focusing on our own growth and finding strength within ourselves, we can navigate this truth with grace and compassion. Finally, we must come to terms with the fact that spiritual growth is a lifelong process. There is no final destination or ultimate enlightenment that we will one day reach. Instead, our spiritual journey is an ongoing process of learning, growing, and evolving. This can be daunting, especially if we are eager to reach a state of enlightenment or inner peace. However, it is also liberating to realize that there is always room for growth, and that each step we take brings us closer to our true selves. This truth encourages us to embrace the journey and find joy in the process. It reminds us that every experience, no matter how challenging, is an opportunity to learn and grow. By focusing on the present moment and appreciating each step of the journey, we can find fulfillment and purpose in our spiritual path. Reflect on your spiritual journey so far. How have you grown and changed? What lessons have you learned along the way? By recognizing that spiritual growth is a continuous process, we can release the pressure to arrive and instead enjoy the ride. The power of vulnerability, embracing authenticity and openness. Another profound truth we must confront on our spiritual journey is the necessity of vulnerability. Many of us equate vulnerability with weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths we can possess. To be vulnerable means to be open and honest about our true selves, our fears, our hopes, and our struggles. It requires immense courage to show up authentically, especially in a world that often values perfection and invulnerability. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we create deeper connections with others. Authenticity fosters trust and intimacy, which are essential for meaningful relationships. By being open about our experiences, we invite others to do the same, creating a space where genuine connection and healing can occur. It is through vulnerability that we build the most profound bonds and experience true compassion and empathy. Consider the times you have hidden your true self out of fear of judgment or rejection. How did that affect your relationships and your sense of self? Now, imagine embracing your vulnerabilities and sharing them with others. How might this openness transform your interactions and deepen your connections? By embracing vulnerability, we not only heal ourselves, but also provide a path for others to do the same. A significant part of embracing vulnerability is letting go of the need for approval. Many of us seek validation from external sources, believing that our worth is tied to the opinions of others. This can lead to a constant cycle of seeking approval and feeling inadequate when we don't receive it. The truth is, no external validation can truly fulfill us. Our worth comes from within, and we must learn to validate ourselves. Self-acceptance is a critical component of spiritual growth. It involves recognizing and embracing all parts of ourselves, even those we consider flawed or unworthy. This acceptance is not about complacency or ignoring areas for improvement, but about acknowledging our inherent worth regardless of our imperfections. When we accept ourselves fully, we free ourselves from the need for external validation and can live more authentically. Reflect on a time when you sought approval from others. How did it make you feel, and did it truly satisfy you? What steps can you take to cultivate self-acceptance and find validation within yourself? By focusing on our own approval and embracing our true selves, we liberate ourselves from the constraints of external judgment and find deeper fulfillment. Another aspect of vulnerability is the willingness to admit when we are wrong or when we don't know something. This humility is essential for growth. Many of us fear admitting our mistakes or lack of knowledge because we believe it makes us appear weak or incompetent. However, admitting our limitations is a sign of strength. It shows that we are open to learning and evolving, which is the essence of the spiritual journey. Think about a time when you struggled to admit a mistake or acknowledge something you didn't know. How did it feel to hold on to that facade? How might things have been different if you had embraced humility and openness? By being honest about our limitations, we create opportunities for growth and learning, both for ourselves and for those around us. Vulnerability also involves being open to the unknown. The spiritual path is filled with uncertainties, and it requires us to step into the unknown with faith and trust. This can be incredibly frightening, as we often seek security and certainty in our lives. However, it is in the unknown that we find the greatest opportunities for transformation and discovery. Consider the times you have avoided taking risks or stepping into the unknown out of fear. What opportunities might you have missed as a result? What if you approach the unknown with curiosity and openness instead of fear? By embracing the unknown, we open ourselves to new experiences and possibilities that can lead to profound spiritual growth. As we continue our exploration of these harsh truths, it's essential to remember that vulnerability is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. It requires ongoing courage and commitment to show up authentically in our lives. Each time we embrace vulnerability, we strengthen our connection to ourselves and others, fostering a deeper sense of belonging and purpose. Reflect on your own journey with vulnerability. How have you embraced it, and where do you still struggle? What steps can you take to cultivate greater authenticity and openness in your life? By committing to the practice of vulnerability, we pave the way for deeper connections, greater self-acceptance, and a more fulfilling spiritual journey. The illusion of separation, recognizing our interconnectedness. One of the most challenging truths we must face on our spiritual path is the illusion of separation. We often perceive ourselves as distinct, isolated entities, separate from others and the world around us. This perception of separation creates feelings of loneliness, competition, and disconnection. However, the deeper truth is that we are all interconnected, part of a vast, intricate web of existence. Recognizing this interconnectedness is essential for our spiritual growth and for fostering a sense of unity and compassion. The illusion of separation stems from our ego, which thrives on the idea of individuality and distinction. The ego creates boundaries and divisions, convincing us that we are separate from others. This illusion is reinforced by societal structures that emphasize competition and individual achievement. However, when we look beyond the surface, we see that everything in the universe is interconnected. Our actions, thoughts, and energy influence the world around us, and we are influenced by the collective consciousness. Consider the impact of your actions on those around you. How often do you see the ripple effects of your decisions and behaviors? What if you recognize that every action you take contributes to the collective energy of the world? This awareness can transform the way we interact with others and encourage us to act with greater compassion and responsibility. Understanding our interconnectedness also means recognizing the shared human experience. We all experience joy, pain, love, and loss. These universal experiences connect us on a deep, fundamental level. When we see others going through struggles, we can empathize because we have experienced similar emotions. This empathy fosters a sense of unity and compassion, breaking down the barriers created by the illusion of separation. Think about a time when you felt deeply connected to someone else's experience. How did it change your perspective and actions? What if you approached every interaction with the awareness that the other person shares a common humanity with you? By cultivating empathy and recognizing our shared experiences, we can bridge the gaps created by the illusion of separation and build stronger, more compassionate connections. Another aspect of recognizing our interconnectedness is understanding that we are part of a larger universal consciousness. This consciousness transcends individual identities and connects all living beings. When we tap into this universal consciousness, we access a higher level of wisdom and understanding. This connection provides us with insights and guidance that go beyond our individual perspective. Reflect on moments when you felt a deep sense of connection to something greater than yourself. How did it influence your thoughts and actions? What if you could access this sense of connection more regularly? By aligning ourselves with the universal consciousness, we can navigate our spiritual journey with greater clarity and purpose. Recognizing our interconnectedness also involves embracing the idea of collective responsibility. Our actions contribute to the collective energy and consciousness of the world. When we act with love, kindness, and compassion, we elevate the collective consciousness. Conversely, actions rooted in fear, hatred, and division contribute to the suffering in the world. This understanding calls us to take responsibility for our actions and strive to contribute positively to the collective energy. Consider the ways in which your actions and energy influence the collective consciousness. What can you do to contribute more positively to the world around you? How might your actions change if you truly embrace the idea of collective responsibility? By acting with awareness and intention, we can positively impact the world and foster a sense of unity and harmony. The illusion of separation also affects our relationship with the natural world. We often see ourselves as separate from nature, exploiting and damaging the environment without recognizing our interconnectedness. However, we are deeply connected to the earth and all living beings. Our well-being is intertwined with the health of the planet. Recognizing this connection calls us to act as stewards of the earth, protecting and nurturing the environment. Reflect on your relationship with nature. How do you interact with the natural world, and what impact do your actions have on the environment? What steps can you take to live more harmoniously with nature and honor your interconnectedness with the earth? By fostering a deeper connection with the natural world, we can contribute to the healing and sustainability of the planet. As we conclude this exploration of the illusion of separation, it's important to remember that recognizing our interconnectedness is a continuous practice. It requires ongoing awareness and intention to see beyond the surface and connect with the deeper truth of unity. Each time we recognize and honor our interconnectedness, we move closer to a state of harmony and spiritual enlightenment. Reflect on your own journey with the illusion of separation. How have you experienced and overcome this illusion in your life? What steps can you take to deepen your awareness of interconnectedness and foster greater unity in your interactions? By embracing our interconnectedness, we can transform our spiritual journey and contribute to a more compassionate and united world. The eternal journey, embracing the path of continuous transformation. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration, we confront a final, humbling truth. The spiritual journey is eternal. There is no ultimate destination or final enlightenment where all questions are answered and all struggles cease. Instead, the path of spiritual growth is one of constant evolution and transformation. This realization can be both daunting and liberating. It frees us from the pressure of perfection and allows us to embrace each moment as an opportunity for growth. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, is a step forward on this infinite path. Our understanding deepens with each lesson learned, and our capacity for love and compassion expands. By accepting that our journey is ongoing, we cultivate patience and perseverance. We learn to find beauty in the process and to celebrate our progress, no matter how small. Reflecting on the nature of an eternal journey, we must acknowledge that growth often comes through challenges and discomfort. These moments of struggle are not setbacks, but integral parts of our evolution. Each difficulty faced and overcome strengthens our resilience and broadens our perspective. In recognizing this, we can shift our mindset from one that fears obstacles to one that welcomes them as opportunities for profound transformation. Consider the times in your life when you face significant challenges. How did these experiences shape you? What strengths and insights did you gain from them? By viewing challenges as essential components of our spiritual journey, we can approach them with a sense of purpose and determination, knowing that they contribute to our ongoing growth. Another aspect of embracing an eternal journey is the understanding that learning is a lifelong process. No matter how much wisdom we acquire, there is always more to discover. This humility keeps us open to new ideas and experiences, preventing stagnation and fostering continuous personal development. It encourages us to remain curious and to seek knowledge and understanding in every situation. The eternal nature of the spiritual path also calls us to practice self-compassion. Recognizing that there is no final destination allows us to be gentle with ourselves when we stumble or fall short of our ideals. Self-compassion involves forgiving ourselves for our mistakes and understanding that imperfection is part of the human experience. This kindness towards ourselves fosters a supportive inner environment conducive to growth and healing. Embracing an eternal journey also means finding joy in the present moment. Often, we become so focused on future goals or past regrets that we overlook the beauty and significance of the present. Each moment is a unique and valuable part of our journey. By practicing mindfulness and presence, we can fully experience and appreciate the richness of each moment. Consider how you engage with the present moment. How often do you find yourself distracted by thoughts of the past or future? What practices can help you cultivate a greater sense of presence? By grounding ourselves in the present, we enhance our ability to find joy and meaning in every step of our journey. As we conclude this exploration of the eternal journey, it's important to recognize that the path of spiritual growth is deeply personal. Each individual's journey is unique, shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and aspirations. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to spirituality. What matters most is our commitment to growth and transformation, our willingness to embrace challenges, and our ability to find joy and meaning in the process. In this spirit of continuous transformation, let us move forward with courage, curiosity, and compassion, knowing that each step we take brings us closer to our true selves and deeper into the infinite journey of the soul.